Hello, I'm olek.netzer. In the field of peace and war studies, I have discovered blind areas in social cognition, without which self-justification of dehumanized attitudes would not be possible. That discovery could change the world of conflict. I was able to make it taking the direct causation approach, in contrast to the predominant multiple causation approach. The direct causation approach is the approach of any natural science. What would be the chances of people infected with AIDS if researchers were satisfied with discovering the indirect causes, like infection through sexual contact, poor nutrition, poor sanitation, etc.? The chances of healing people depend on focusing research on the direct causes, the virus or whatever it is inside the human organism that ruins the immunization system. Why didn't social science take that same approach to social diseases, socially spread epidemics like fanaticism and racism? I had to struggle with an embarrassing notion, why me? Why do I have to reinvent that wheel? Therefore, I feel I need to tell you how it occurred to me that the direct causation approach must be taken if we ever want to help healing socially spread epidemics. I happen to be a Holocaust survivor, the only one in my family. That childhood experience set me on my course to fight prejudice and racism so that such things would never happen again to anyone. However, I adopted the direct causation approach many years later as a result of a war trauma. Again, I was the only survivor in an army ambulance hit by a missile. My fellows were torn to pieces around me and on me and even in me. I knew I won't be able to get over that trauma and live on unless I make sense of it and understand, but really understand, why that happened to us that afternoon. I got over my trauma when the real cause, with a capital R, presented itself in my mind. The real cause was the Syrian gunner who received an order to shoot, aimed well, and pulled the trigger. If he didn't want to hit his target, he could have not to. It was a total turnaround of my earlier learned concepts about the causes of wars. And I never doubted it since that the real cause of wars are warriors. The links in the chain of causation leading to a war are all abstract and past. If there is one link that we can touch in order to cut that chain, it is the living individual link. My later research work followed that realization directly. The research question was, how do normal people manage to justify in their own eyes even the most fantastically erroneous ideas about other humans and the most inhuman acts of mass destruction without running into an intolerable cognitive dissonance with their own highest values like sanity, truth, morality, justice? The answer, my friends, is no longer blowing in the wind. The answer is blind areas on the cognitive maps of their social orientation. Blind areas make self-justification possible by dehumanization of both self and others who are by that excluded from one's moral consideration. And frankly, I did not invent the blind areas. They are the clear symptoms by which dehumanization can be identified and diagnosed as accurately or more than any mental disorder. Blind areas in the thinking and expression of people, it means in their hearts and minds, is as inseparable from the horrors of war as guns and bombs. I therefore believe that any conscientious person should look up into this reality very closely before they make their judgment of my discovery. And this I see as the strongest argument in my plea for your attention. Thank you for listening.